Welcome back to Riffs Garage. On this episode, we're going to talk about Fox body safety, or Fox body not so safety. Stick around. So, have you ever been driving your Fox body down the road and thought, man, if I hit that twig in the middle of the street, is my seatbelt going to protect me whenever my car's totaled out? Yeah, you're not the only one. See this? Not very safe. Probably can't see it, but the one on the passenger side, well, it won't even retract anymore, so it's pretty much toast. So what I went and done excuse me, what I went and done is I bought brand new seat belts from Late Model Restoration. Let me see if I can grab them. Now these are made by Seatbelt Solutions, and I believe they're out of Florida. So for the guys who have the 86 or 84 to 86 cars who have Canyon Red, these are pretty close. So Late Model Restoration, they only offer red. They don't specify Canyon Red, Scarlet Red, none of that. They do specify Scarlet Red on their trim pieces. But, I don't know if you can see that, it matches the seat upholstery pretty good, but it does not match the factory seat upholstery. So this is TMI, this is factory. You can tell this has a lot more maroon red in it, and this has a lot more brown in it. So, quick lesson for those that don't know, Ford's Canyon Red is actually, if you look at carpet swatches and stuff, it's called maple brown. Maple brown. So it has a lot of brown in it and not a lot of red, which is what makes it a very unique color, which is why I like it. But so this is what you get. Now if you go through CJ Pony Parts or straight through Seatbelt Solutions, they offer a maroon seatbelt. I didn't trust it because it looked maroon. It didn't look like it would match this or this. It just looked maroon. So I didn't want to go with it. I figured these red, at least it matches the seat. That's the thing that they're actually up against the most, are the seat. So when somebody looks inside the car, they see that, and they see that it kind of matches, and they go on about their way, and nobody's feeling gets hurt. Feeling, that was singular. But anyhow, so that's what I have, and that's what we're going to be working on. We're going to be putting seat belts in the old 86 Capri here. The old girl deserves them. She's been around the block a time or two. Been rode hard, put up wet. Alright, let me give you guys a rundown on the parts that comes in this kit. Now this kit is not cheap, but you have these little rubber grommets that go inside the door, because on these seat belts you no longer have that cable that runs out to the door, so when the door opens up the seat belt locks. You don't have that on these. They give you some nice Law Torx bits. Here are, these two are for the shoulder belt, and these two are for the seatbelt receptacle. And here's the seat belts. So this is the whole, both sides. This is the shoulder and the receptacle, all in one baggie. So yeah, you can see on these, you can kind of mount these things like if you're doing like some sort of roadster or something. So all this is nice and finished off trim. So it's designed to be exposed and still look good. But the cool thing about these is that you see that right there. That's kind of cool because that is very close to factory. It's not 100%. It's a plastic shield versus a painted metal shield. or a cover on that, so I don't know how much I like that, but it's there and it is what it is. So anyhow, so I got the seat out. My garage is an absolute disaster area. A little four-wheeler. Yeah. So I got the seat out over here. I'm going to fall and break my neck because that's always fun to do when you're trying to work on something. Alright, so this kit is for the guy who, this late model restoration kit they sell. This is for the guy who doesn't have, like, you know, Torx bits, and you know, it's just for the dude that's wanting to swap out his seat belts, but he don't want to have to go buy a bunch of special tools on the side. So what they do is they give you everything into one kit. So you get your Torx bits. And I just realized that my little clip on here is not clipping anymore, and my sockets are not staying on. I'll have to fix that. But so they give you all the Torx bits to do it with, which is cool. So what I'm going to do now, I already got my 2 screws out. One here, one here. I was missing one here, so which is not very uncommon. So now I got to take this out and that one right there. I don't know if you can see. And then once I get that off, I may have to take my little trim piece out right here. I'm not sure yet. But then I can take this off, or at least pop this out, and hopefully, see, it already comes out quite a bit. Hopefully once I do that, I'll be able to reach in there and take out the seatbelt part. We're going to see. I don't know if I can or not, but we're going to find out. That's very aggravating already. I'll also show you a trick for your these bolts right here. This is a shoulder bolt, and this bolt is designed, it's designed to go in here, right? So you see how it fits snug. Well, on the back side, Ford would put a piece of rubber fuel line or whatever rubber hose they had. It wasn't a specific made for this, it was just a piece of hose that they'd cut. The guy would slide it over, it would overlap maybe 1/8, 1/16 of an inch, overlap that shoulder. So when you tightened it down, that rubber would squish and it would hold tension on this thing, and the seat belt would stand up like so versus flopping around. When I put these in, I didn't have any of that on hand, so I just stuck them in without it. But when I put them back in, I have a piece in the floor over there that I'm going to take and cut up, and I'm going to do it the right way. Now it's going to pop that off without breaking it. I mean, what is holding it on right now? I have no idea. The fact that you can't see in there will come off. Understand that. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. Jeez Louise. That was unbelievably bad. Now, why ain't this little jewel working? Oh, look at that. White Mustang, yellow T-Bird. So I guess that means that whenever they was picking them off the shelf, the ones that had the white housing on them, I'm assuming, I may be completely wrong, but I'm assuming that the white housing was for the Mustang and the yellow was for the T-Bird. Who knows? I just know that these things don't work. And I'm not really sure. I kind of thought about taking it apart. Oop, something just happened. Oh well. Alright. Now, stage 74 of this fiasco. My dog is still barking, and I think my wife is tone deaf to it, which is very annoying. Nice fresh buckle. Another fresh buckle. Instructions. Those are suggestions. See if these are labeled as left and right. Ooh. Look at that. That's probably the closest thing to Canyon Red of anything I've ever seen aftermarket is that. And then you get to that and it's just bright red. It's like, why couldn't you make that the same color as that? Come on, do better. Do better. Alright. Well, so the other one there, it had little things that went inside of holes, and that kind of helped it stay centered up. These, on the other hand, do not. So, that being said, that's going to go in there. That's going to come up. That is going to go and bolt to there. That's going to go down in there. And then it's going to be a party. So I'm going to have to feed all this up. Now, yeah, we'll feed all this up and through. Things have the forces of 1,000 horses on this thing. Ever heard the story of Humpty Dumpty? Pretty good feel-good story. Oh, Humpty was this egg fella, and well, he sat on a wall until he didn't. I think what happened was, I think he probably I don't want to tell this in the history books, but he was probably drunk, if I was to guess. And if I was to guess, he was staggering around and running his mouth to all the king's horses and all the king's men, and he fell off the wall. Ew. Oh wow. Interesting. Well, I don't know if that's right. I think it's twisted. That's right. So, yeah, the moral of the story is that if you're an egg, you have a very brittle shell, and if you get wasted and you're on top of a wall, you're probably going to fall and probably going to fall and break into a lot of pieces. And if you do that, then they're not going to be able to put you back together again. Just saying. You need to be careful. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. I kind of feel like I do. Did y'all see that? Well, I know they were there. They were. Well, I don't know if that's. Hey, look at that crap. Oh, that's sweet. Huh. What I could do, I could just let that hang in the floor, so when I have a wreck, this thing's going to hook onto the plastic, then it's going to catch, and then it's going to work. It's probably a good idea. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Huh, these seatbelts have an expiration date. 2034 is when they expire. I will be probably dead, but if I'm still alive and I still have this car, and they'll have to be changed. Now the fun part. Let's get this in there. You guys really think I was just gonna leave that? Come on now. I'm not that careless. It's like that George Michael song, Careless Whisper. I'm not that careless. I do think, though, if you're going to put seatbelts in your car, do it when you already have all the trim out, because it would make this part a lot easier. A lot easier. You can do it, obviously. I'm doing it, but you're just kind of flying blind. Let's see what happens here. So what I done was, there's kind of a pocket in there that the factory seatbelt sits in. So whenever you tighten it down, just kind of get it positioned in that pocket, and you'll be able to, like, you'll tell, because it'll shoot. You see that angle? Well, it's not bent. That's the angle of the actual seatbelt housing. So that tells me it's all good. And if you're wondering why I'm going back with the ratchet, is because that particular ratchet right there, that Milwaukee, is not a fuel. It's just a regular ratchet. So, although it's pretty tight. All right. Now, let me run this down here. Look at that crap. All right. Now, for this part. One's already out over there, but we'll leave it. Kind of curious to do a compare. These things feel really, they just feel cheap. They feel flimsy. I don't know. Like that one feels. Yeah, I can already tell you too that it's a little bit longer, but that cut is not. It's kind of crooked. I mean, come on, guys, do better. The factories are definitely thicker material than the aftermarkets. Yeah, you can even look at it and tell. So, as far as that goes, this thing will go, curved part will go out, because if you put it in, then the seat's going to hit it. So it's curved to miss the seat. So now, take this, kind of squeeze it a little bit sideways, and we'll run the belt down in there. Kind of wonder if I need to get like a long screwdriver or something. Oh, nope, wait a minute. There it goes. Alright. So one thing I didn't check, I'm going to check it now. Alright. So the shoulder does go all the way through. So I'm going to take, this is where I always get confused. And if you guys know, let me know in the comments. But does the rubber go on the back, outside the plastic, or does it go on the inside? I would think it goes, I don't know where it goes. What do you guys think? Interesting. Man, this is sweet having a new seat belt in this thing. This poor old car hadn't had new seat belts since 1986. Oh no, this is kind of bugging me. I know if I put it on the back, it will cinch down against the plastic. I want to wear the plastic out. If I put it on the inside, then it's going to push down against the metal bracket. It'll be kind of like that. Outside, I just want to space it out. There's one way to find out, and that is to do it. So here's the rubber piece I was telling you about. I already had one piece cut. This was cut, not for this. I cut this a long time ago to do something else. So there, or nah, it's got to go this way because the shoulder has to go through the metal, right? And then that will go on there, and that's going to squish down. So yeah, I just talked myself into how I think it has to go. All right. May or may not be right. I have no idea. But all right, you're probably wondering what I'm doing. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting that by hand because now there's not as much threads hanging out, right? Ta-da! Just like that. What do you guys think? Huh. How's it look? Man, that's pretty sweet. That's not just falling down, it actually stays where you put it now. Here comes old Rut. Come here, say hi, Rut. Making a YouTube video.
What's up, guys? Soon I'm hopefully gonna have a Not Me YouTube channel. So all y'all YouTubers, be ready to see me soon.
Did y'all get that? Alright, guess what? That is one seat belt down. Now, let me get this T-top back down. Well, I gotta put that back on, but I'll do that here later. What am I hitting on up here? I feel like I'm hitting on something.
Hello, guys. I'm always gonna be on YouTube. Today's today.
Alright. Now,
If you're in Tennessee, it's 7:55.
told you it was getting late. Now we're going to see how this plugs into the factory buckle.
If you live in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Oh,
it's
that's butter.
7:55. Yo,
Woo, look at that.
house.
Look at that. It released on its own back. I didn't have to tug on it and everything. All right.
Tech boys, if y'all see my YouTube channel, y'all definitely gonna be seeing these tech decks.
So he just hijacked my channel. Now
Yep.
I'm going to bring you guys over here and show you how these rubber plugs go.
Gone.
All right. So now part number. See the part number. So I was going to order these plugs and just go to like Amazon and get them because I thought they were just round plugs. Then I got to looking at the hole right here. Show them the hole. See the hole? That hole is not round. That hole is oblong. So when I got the kit in from late model, the plug is not round, but the plug is oblong. So now we're going to put the plug in, and hopefully it'll just snap in without having to do any grease or anything on it. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, yeah.
We got it, boys. And girls.
Let's see what are you filming? All right, so I just installed the plug. Right, show them the plug. See that? Yeah, look at that. Clean. Much better than a regular hose. I'm going to tell you, late model restoration, whenever they decided to do that, that was a really smart move on their end. So, good job, guys. I don't know who at late model come up with that, but good job. So, I was thinking about swapping out the buckle on the driver's side, but I think I'm going to leave the factory driver's side buckle in, just for the fact that it still has the wires that go off that tell when the dash, the dash lights on this car about your seat belts and stuff. So anyhow, I am going to swap out the plastics. So, but guys, all in all, we'll see how this fits. Show you guys. All right, buckles. Pretty good. It buckles just the same way on the factory buckles, the same. So, I'm not going to film doing the other side because you've seen this side and you've seen that it was... You've seen this side and see that it was basically pretty straightforward. So I'm not going to put it back together right now because I got to do the other side. Then I put everything back together. So anyhow, ladies and gents, that's going to be all for now. And this last part of the video is probably going to be pretty weird because the camera's moving all around, and I'm letting my kid help me, so it's probably not going to be the best. So, it's going to be good enough though, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, that's all. That's all.
That's all for Motorsports Riffs, whatever it's called.
Let me get that out of the way. Guys, that is all for this episode of Riffs Garage. Until next time, peace.
And look at these